Dan Boingo will not stay at the FBI if Pam Bondi is not removed. Not only is
this is what I heard too. Like this is another report that I heard. This one's by Asmongold. The FBI is falling apart.
Boingo, but now Kash Patel is threatening to resign if Pam Bondi isn't fired as Attorney General. Holy
I heard about this too.
Shit. If Kash leaves,
and I heard that the source for this information was like super credible. It was a person that had a high hit rate.
MAGA implodes.
It's like you never know, right, with these kind of things, because they're usually going to be like a secondary source that's like leaking some kind of information to like a journalist. But apparently the person who figured this out apparently is like pretty accurate.
To be honest, I totally side with Kash Patel over Pam Bondi. Any fucking day of the week, absolutely, without a fucking second. Like, yeah, bro, like this guy is, I think this guy is way more on our side than she is.
Here's the intel I've got from multiple FBI sources and White House
Alex
sources. One of them being Carl Serafin, who's really proven he's really dialed in and has a great knack for figuring out what's going on. There is orders obviously coming down from the top, Trump, to move on from the Epstein thing. And so when this fiasco came out with them giving mixed messages on the Epstein files, the first move was to blame Pam Bondi, who Susie Walls likes, Trump likes, but everybody else doesn't like, and reportedly is on her way out in the near future. At least people are pushing for that. Bongino will probably resign, if not now, soon.
They have to resign. They have to resign to protect their own reputations. Because if they don't resign, then they're complicit.
And then he can keep his honor and go.
I can, guys.
Dude, I feel so bad for Dan because here's the thing. If you guys don't follow Dan Bongino, here's the thing with Dan. When this all happened, by the way, when he got asked, so this is the context, okay? Dan Bongino ran a political live stream. That was like what he did. He did a show, he did a radio show. He was doing really well, by the way. Like his live stream was like one of the biggest political live streams. It was like had the most growth. It was like really like kind of popping off. To the point where he bought a new studio. Like he bought like a studio so that they could have the show in the studio. So he paid for the new studio. They built the new studio. He was about to go in. He was about to like move into the new studio and start recording the show from there, right? And that's when Trump asked him, right? And so like he was like in this position where he's like, well, I have to do it for honor because I always say all these things about like, you know, how you have to take a stand, you have to do the right thing. And I'm always saying that. And like, if he didn't take it, then like, can he really talk about all of this if he's not willing to walk it, you know? He had so much to lose by joining. Basically, like he had a lot to lose and not a lot to gain. Like he was already making a lot of money. So it's not even a money thing, right? So he joined like not even for money. So that's like the backstory behind like Dan Bongino like joining, right? So like to see him like having to go through all of this stuff, it's like they can't bribe him with money. So like, what could they possibly have? That's kind of like where I'm coming from, right? That's what I'm trying to analyze out is like what you always follow, right? Because everything's going to be bullshit, right? People are going to lie about stuff and they're going to have a narrative and, you know, evil is always going to try to like cloak its actions, right? That's like the only thing that you can be certain of is that evil will do that, right? So now you have to follow like, okay, if I can't trust like the media, I can't trust the reports, I can't even trust like what they're saying right now, I have to trust their motives, right? Because motives are something that are really, really hard to hide, right? That everybody has a motive for what they do all the time, right? Like every action has a reason, like a motive reason behind it, right? So by trying to find the motive, you kind of begin to uncover stuff, right? And you know that Dan Bongino's motive is not money because like he stood to like make a lot more money by not joining. And like I said, he was losing a lot by leaving. Like he's losing his show. He's like losing like, you know, the all the money he put into the studio. And like he's losing some, and like he loved doing the show. Like every day you could see he would like get on the show and he'd be like super excited. Like he was like really happy to live stream. He was definitely like happy. At least like with that part of his job basically, right? So like I can't really think of a reason that he would join other than like his own personal convictions, right? And if that's like his motive is a personal conviction and not money, how do you corrupt a person like that? Do you see what I mean? Like what do you have to do? Like what kind of evil things do you have to do to a person to corrupt them when that's their motive? And that's like kind of what worries me is like, now I'm like, they threatened his family. Like what, did he see something that was like so fucking crazy that like he thought that like the alternative was worse? Right? Like, and I'm like trying to like think about it and like, where's the web of motive here? And that's why I'm like so concerned, right? With Dan Bongino in particular. I don't know shit about Pam Bondi. I'm gonna be real. I don't know anything about them, right? It's almost like a Jafar situation, right? Imagine like if I was like, yeah, by the way, guys, like I'm gonna be joining the government, right? And like I'm gonna set them straight. Like, you know, I'm tired of all this. And like I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna get paid anything. Like I don't give a shit. Like I don't even want to like work for the government. Like I hate that. I just want to play games. But you know what? I'm gonna do it because it's the right thing. And then I went there and all of a sudden I'm like, the government did nothing wrong, chat, the whole time. Like you'd be like, what the fuck, right? Like, you'd be like, what the fuck happened? That's kind of like where I am because I was a fan of Dan Bongino's, right? So it's like I have a little bit more like kind of like a personal interest in it.
I have a crazy idea for the new attorney general. I've got a crazy idea. I know it might not seem,
Alex Jones.
but there have been so many videos of Alex Jones acting like he should be in the Warhammer 40K universe as an
Alex Jones.
Inquisitor. I
agree. Oh my God.
We should give him a shot.
Yeah.
Media.
Fuck yeah.
And Kash Patel is really the guy.
No. Everybody says no.
No, I 100% fucking agree. Because Alex Jones does not give a fuck. Like, they have done everything to this man. They have fucked with this guy, like, so hard that he does not care anymore. Dude, I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't care, like, if he gets killed.
No, gentlemen. Like, back this. No, you see, you don't understand.
They've all got mustaches and they bug their eyes out at you and think they scare you. And you just look like an absolute clown freak that works for murdering terrorists that jack our food and water. I think you're a big joke. That's what I think you are, murdering scum. And army bases all over the world.
I'm telling you guys.
Dude, 100%.
Drastic times call for drastic solutions.
I agree.
No one does it better.
Fuck yeah.
The establishment likes.
Making a very strong point.
I'm not saying he's overall a bad person, but
I think Asmongold is fucking cooking here. 100%. I trust that Alex Jones would get in there and he would just blow shit up. Like he would not care. He would just be like, yeah guys, I got in there and I looked at it. The aliens are real. The aliens are coming for us from the planet Nibiru. They're gonna be here in like 10 years. Guys, we're gonna have to get our military up. We're gonna have to get those quantum drives. We're gonna have to get the gravity drives right now. Railguns, guys, we need them. We need them right now. We need them right there. We need the priests. Find a spear of Longinus, and we're gonna use that to take down their mothership. All right, guys, we need it right now. Right now. And Epstein didn't kill himself. Like, dude, he would totally do that.
Because of some of the issues and some of his congressional testimony that they could call perjury, that they still
it would be amazing. It would be fucking amazing.
That he's more and more what the Washington system actually likes.
Yes.
And so that's where we're at on all of this. I wanted to get Robert Barnes' take on what
there were no minors at Epstein's. It was all aliens. Well, they were minor aliens, but still aliens.
I'm saying here on air. And
someone says we already have a conspiracy theorist running the health department. I don't think we need another one in there as well. Do you know what the funny thing is? I think that RFK has probably been the least controversial and the most positive impact. RFK said no more Red 2, and they stopped making Red 2. So we had what? So let me get this straight. So you bring in a nutball, and he has all these nutball policies that are Red 40 that nobody believes are true, and then he just does them and things are better. You found where autism comes
Crazy.
from? Yeah, it's from DeviantArt. I could have told you that.
The fact that I don't
True. So true.
believe this Epstein Streisand effect's going away. I think what's gone on the last few months, really intensifying last week, is only going to get more intense now. That's my view. I think it's a giant distraction from overall the great things the Trump administration is doing. And I wish this fiasco would have never happened.
True.
Because now Epstein's gone from a mega massive story to really the biggest ever. And it's going to become one of the deciding issues of the Trump administration, regardless of what Trump wants. So that's where we are.
I'm telling you guys, say what you want about Alex Jones being crazy, but how many times has the crazy shit he said been real? I'm just saying. He told everybody, guys, there's like they have a cult in the woods and they worship an owl god and they burn effigies of children and it's all the rich people and they all get in there. The Clintons, they're all in there. They're all in there doing their weird fucking, their weird freaking gay rituals in there. They're all doing it in the woods in California. And then like everybody was like, dude, what the fuck are you what? A cult with an owl god and burning like dolls of children? What the fuck are you talking about? And he got out of there with video proof. He went in there, he got video proof, he came out, he's like, I told you guys. He it was true. It was actually crazy. Effigies. They were effigies. I don't think a lot of people like effigies. Kind of a difficult word. So I said dolls because dolls is easier. But yeah, basically, yeah, like it was like so wild and fucking crazy. Like the whole claim, but it was real.
What's your take?
Yep,
Did Alex Jones predict 9/11? Dude, a lot of stuff. Dude, a lot of stuff. He said a lot of stuff, and like people like rag on him. And see, here's the thing: is like people like kind of get caught up in the hyperbole because Alex Jones, he kind of the way he talks, he kind of rants like he has like a sort of like fanatical rant mode where like he goes into like this mode where he just pops off and he just like says like exactly what he's thinking, and people get caught up in that mess. Like, for instance, like the biggest one, like this is like the biggest one is him saying like that they're turning the frogs gay, right? And like everyone laughs at him like, oh, like, haha, making the frogs gay. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Alex Jones? You crazy ass, right? But it's actually not completely wrong. Like, what he was saying basically was that there were chemicals that were inducing a hermaphroditic state in frogs, which is, and you know, like rather than saying it like all proper like that, like, yes, oh yeah, there's this chemical in the water that's it's introducing a sort of biological change in the frogs that's happening, and it's kind of increasing the rate of hermaphroditic frogs. But instead of saying that, he said, they're turning the frogs gay, they're turning the frogs gay, right? And it's like he's kind of saying the same thing, but just like crazy, you know, like just with a lot of passion, you know. The Forbidden Gabagool, thank you so much for this. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Is caused by atrazine in the runoff. Leaflit says Harvard research was where the gay frogs came from, caused by atrazine in the runoff. Yeah, exactly. So it's like basically, Alex Jones makes a point in a fanatical way, just because he's just kind of like that kind of person. He just kind of like he gets riled up, you know. He gets riled up, and he just like he just kind of he talks like a normal person that's drunk, right? And like he does that, and then everyone tells him like, oh wow, like misinformation, like, you know, bullshit. Everything he says is bullshit. But it's like it's really not. Yeah, it's really not. Like it's yeah.
Exactly. This is exactly.
He's been right about a lot of things. Freaking Alex Jones. And you know, and the thing is like here's the truth, right? Like, all people will bring up, oh, but what about Sandy Hook or whatever, right? But like, if you're working in this line of business where information is kind of cloaked in shadows, right? Like, you know, for instance, information on something like Bohemian Grove wouldn't be like, that's not going to be everywhere, right? You're dealing with situations in which there are nefarious forces that are trying their best to mess up information and cloak their actions, right? So what I'm saying is that you're bound to probably get something wrong at one point, right? So like people will use those things that he did get wrong, and even stuff that he said like, yeah, I got that wrong, right? Oops, my bad, I fucked up, right? Like they will use that as like everything he says is wrong.
Exactly the way I feel about it, 100%.
What the fuck do you say about Sandy Hook that was worth getting sued millions of dollars? They did not sue him for millions of dollars because he got that wrong. They did that because they wanted to destroy him. They wanted to destroy him and send a message. That's what that whole thing was about. It was never about like him getting something wrong and causing damages. It wasn't really like nefarious. It was like him basically seeing something and thinking that that was the case. He wasn't like out to destroy the Sandy Hook people, right? Like the people that were involved in it. But, you know, it's he was trying to find the truth in a world where there are nefarious forces, right? Trying to control information. He got it wrong, and they had to basically do their best to make him go away. But Alex Jones isn't that kind of person, so he just came right back.
And he loses his hair in the lawsuit? I guess so. I believe they dropped the Epstein because of the bullshit disaster on purpose, so I don't know. But either way, Dan Bongino, if they resign, if him and Kash Patel both resign, that would be probably the most based possible thing that you could do.
Whitewash
That's
broke
true.
just a few days ago. Seems like 100 years ago. I told everybody this is a big.
Because the thing is I feel like with Alex Jones, I think they already did their best to take everything from this man. So like if there was anybody that like didn't have anything to lose, it would be Alex Jones. They already tried to get him with they already tried to shut him down in every way possible.
Scandal, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you it came right from the top, from Trump, for whatever reason he wants to move on. Never seen any evidence he's connected to Epstein. But regardless, we were told all this stuff was coming out. Now we're told it never existed. When we know a ton of stuff does exist. But I told you this wasn't just going to blow over. And the fact that they handled this way was going to create a giant Streisand effect. Well, now it has.
Just a minute. We got to deal with somebody. Be responsible.
Oh, here we go.
Be careful. Not everyone has the same IQ as you. Stop and return. What do you unhappy about? What have I said that you're not happy? Actually, you know what? You're saying these. You're making abstract statements. Why am I even going to begin arguing with a person that's just making these abstract, meaningless statements?
Warren came out and said, "Looks like Bongino will resign." I believe he will.
Thank you, Sippy, for the follow.
I think it's overall because
there's no reason to put up with
integrity.
that.
I gotta do that more, chat.
And it's not even about Trump.
I gotta learn from Asmon Sensei.
The way things have been handled.
Yeah.
And where this is going. Trump is doing so much good. His administration is doing so much good. Tom Homan, Robert Kennedy Jr.
SMH Tamashi.
Trying to stop the wars. It's so important. But this attempt to say, never talk about Epstein again, move along, these aren't the droids you're looking for, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, is backfiring.
Yep.
And now the Democrats want hearings.
He's
it's
right.
just all going completely insane. The answer to all of this is to just put the information out.
Yep.
The answer is to tell the truth. Let the chips fall where they may. Yes, it can kill the stock market. Yes, it's going to bring down a lot of powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the powerful people that set up this corrupt system.
Yup.
We didn't elect Trump to play half measures. We didn't elect Trump to sit there and take over the establishment. We elected him to demolish the establishment.
That's one thing to keep in mind. A lot of people wanted Trump to go in and completely fuck everything up.
Yup. So that one.
That's exactly it. That was the goal.
Trump didn't save him in Butler and take him through all these crises to then just...
Would you support releasing the files even if Trump is in them?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what the fuck? What kind of question is that?
If it says verbatim...
Yeah, if it says in there, like, in graphic detail, that what Trump did to, like, you know, an underage person, yeah, fucking release it. Yeah. Let everyone know so everyone can be like, yo, Trump, fuck you, dude. Right? Yeah. Like, and, like, how is this a gotcha? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why, like, people like use this as like well, what about if Trump is in it, huh? You still want it to be released? Yeah. Okay. Like how is that like an own? Like, what are you talking about? And I think like this is kind of like the difference. Like, this isn't like tribal. Like, people, like, I think tribal, like, people that like have a severe case of, like, you know, SS plus rank tribalism, like, those people, they assume everybody has the same thing. And that we're gonna like do our best to like protect Trump from literally everything that he does wrong. He does anything wrong, we're just gonna glaze him. Bro, like, I don't care.
Guaranteed, without a shadow of a doubt, Trump did the worst of the worst things. I would say put it out there right now. How could you not?
Take over the establishment and dismantle it that way. No, we want the whole thing to come crashing down for the whole world to...
Leaf, you wouldn't understand the importance of tribalism because you yourself are a fish out of water. Yeah, I'm like a fucking alien, bro. I literally feel like an alien, like, every day.
See as an example to future tyrants. If we don't do that, God's going to judge us. Probably nuclear hellfire. That's my view on it. What do you think below? But I believe Bongino will be gone by Monday.
That was a pretty fast escalation. Wow.
Got a comment.
Wait, what was the escalation?
If we don't do that, God's going to judge us. Probably nuclear hellfire. That's my view on it. What do you think below? But I believe Bongino will be gone by Monday.
That was a pretty fast escalation. Wow.
Got a comment on what's happening in Washington with Dan Bongino.
This is they found this. There was a homeless man on the side of the street. He heard what Trump said about the windmills, and he was trying to count the amount of dead birds that are underneath the windmills. And they decided to stop and interview him and ask him what he thinks about the Epstein files.
What? What?
Dan Bondi.
That was quite a story to get to there.
A direct plea to President Trump. Please, President Trump. I know you're not involved at this level. I know that you are busy working on huge projects. But America can't lose Dan Bongino. He has so much credibility. Everybody knows him, loves him. Pam Bondi.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, basically, Dan Bongino is kind of known for being a person of honor, so it's kind of rough to see like this happening.
You recorded fucking, bro, like you literally worked in media for fucking 30, 40 fucking years. You really, why did you get out of your car? You could have just recorded this fucking shit in your car. It would not have had this. What are you doing, man? Why would you do this? This is so dumb.
I agree.
Yeah, it's Glenn Beck. It is. It's Glenn Beck. And so anyway, yeah, is there so much credibility? Everybody knows him or knows him? No, I think so. I'll watch one more video and then we'll wrap this up.
I get a call, I don't know, about 4 years ago. It's from, let's say, a friend. Prior line of work thing, right? Guy says, listen. And this guy who calls me is an unimpeachable source. This guy's not like some ham and egg or tomato can guy throwing out some theory about a UFO he saw 72 years ago, whatever. This is like a legit, no-nonsense guy. Guy you trust with your, wife, kid, and car, right? He says, I got sent on a temporary assignment once. And on that assignment, I got sent out with on the WCD detail, William Clinton detail. And I knew this guy well. And he says, Dan, I got to share this with someone. He said, I go on a plane and...
Oh, my God. What?
And Bill, Clinton gets on the plane with this guy, and it turns out later the guy's Epstein. Now, this guy I'm talking to, this source, he don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. He's just getting on the plane doing the thing, the whole, protection gig, right? He says, I get on the plane, and there are these girls who are obviously not of age who are on this plane.
Are you
I heard this story before.
telling me that there's a bunch of underage girls on the airplane called the Lolita Express?
Wait, was the plane? No. Wait, hold on. I thought that was no. I thought that was like a nickname everyone was calling it after the fact. There's no way. It was not called the actual Lolita Express. There's no fucking way. Shut up. No, it was a nickname. It's a nickname. I think it's a nickname. From what I'm reading, it's a nickname.
No fucking way. Next thing you're gonna tell me that does KFC sell chicken? I had no fuck. What about Burger King? Do they have any burgers over there?
They're clearly young. These are not women. These are girls. And he says, I see Clinton disappear into the back.
Convenient.
He goes, I don't know what happened. I'm not saying what happened because all I know is he disappeared and these girls were back there or whatever. And he said they landed.
Let me ask you guys, those of you all who voted for Donald Trump for president, what would your response be if Donald Trump had Bill Clinton arrested for sex trafficking of minors? What would your response be?
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Cinema based
Yup.
W.
Huge
I
W.
would laugh my off off.
Oh my God, that's literally what you guys said in chat. Cinema based W.
Ass off. I did vote.
You guys literally said that in the chat, as he was saying that.
Vote for that. That would be winning on a level that I didn't even know was possible.
That would be crazy.
It's not going to happen. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
My hope though, and this is this might be weapons grade copium, but my hope is that all of this is just a big fucking 1000 IQ play to make people complacent as the rogue comes in from behind and twists the dagger into their back with a devastating strike after they're not paying attention. And then not literally. I mean, I'm talking figuratively, right? But that all of these evil people are so focused on the infighting and the chaos that they've caused that they aren't paying attention, and they basically get eviscerated. They get eviscerated, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere they drop all the information and just turn it and just 180 it on them. That's my hope, basically, that this is all some big ploy to get them to drop their guard and get absolutely fucked.
Best damn president, that would be, I think there's a very low probability. Listen, this is the way that I always look at most things. I think there are a lot of things
because the thing is there are a lot of cases where there are evil people that do things. And when you're fighting these people, you have to be meticulous. And you're not always going to get to justice immediately. You're going to have to wait for extended periods of time. You're going to have to dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and you're going to have to just be perfect. You have to wait until everything's perfect. You have the perfect moment, and then you strike. You don't just willy-nilly go well, no, they're bad, guys. Look, they're bad. They did the bad thing. Everything must be calculated, and you must wait for the perfect timing because you don't want these worms to have any chance to squiggle out. You want the absolute perfect trap, right? So that's my copium that all of this was waiting for a perfect moment and that we have yet to see it.
That are 1% chances. But if you open up my World of Warcraft account, I have a lot of 1% chance mounts. 1%'s happen. When was the last time an ex-president got arrested? Donald Trump.
Next stop.
2 years ago.
And he goes up to the boss on the detail and he says, I ain't getting back on this plane. Because he's a temp. He's not used to like whatever Clinton was up to with the whole shenanigans thing. And this guy is clear as the driven snowman. He don't want to mess around with this. He says, whatever just happened back there, like, I don't want any piece of it. They sent him home. They sent that guy home. And he's never temped to that detail again. Now, remember,
where is all of this data? This is all government record, right? So if it all got deleted, so there's two universes. The universe where it exists, well, that's easy to figure.
He's talking about a hypothetical. He's creating like a meta world argument. This immediately blew up the brains of like 90% of humanity.
Figure out. And the universe where it got deleted. If it got deleted, I think we should know that it got deleted.
Those blackberries on that detail. Here's where the story gets super weird. The guy tells me, months or a couple weeks later, when you lose property in the Secret Service, an email goes out. It'll say like, hey, I lost his phone. And it gets logged into NCIC or whatever it is. Yeah. And everybody knows. So basically, if you find this guy's gun, God forbid, or his phone, it's now effectively stolen property, right?
Yeah, sure.
All of a sudden, all the blackberries on that detail for the agents start showing up like, oh, this guy lost his BlackBerry. Holy shit. Wow, that's so crazy. How'd that happen? I'm like, no. He says, yes. He says it was the craziest thing. Like, oh, look, Agent Joey Bag of Donuts, missing BlackBerry. This is around the whole time. Like the Clinton thing's going.
If you don't know what a BlackBerry is, BlackBerry is like basically the precursor to like the iPhone, like smartphone. It's kind of between an old like cell phone, like those old like kind of Nokia cell phones, and a iPhone. It's kind of like in the middle. It's got some features that are like kind of like some program features that are like better than, you know, the old stuff, but it's not quite iPhone. I used to have one.
Are you really telling me that this guy is the...
I got really good at typing on that thing. Like, that thing had like a normal phone pad, but like I could type really fucking fast on that shit.
Co-head of the FBI. Either he's lying. Why is this guy not empowered to look into this? And if you want me to look, as I said, these are the faces of shame. This is not the face of a liar. This isn't the face of a deceiver. This
is what I'm saying. It's like, if you look at like Dan Bongino, like, imagine like you're like a freaking hero, and you're like trying to do the honorable thing. You know, like, when I mean hero, I mean like I'm speaking like RPG terms, like kind of like fantasy, like trope. Like, you're like the hero type person. You're like, I want to do what's right and stuff. And you get in. It's kind of like Jafar. Like, you know, Jafar, like in Twisted, where like he gets there and like everything's fucked up, and he's just like, his eyes kind of glaze over, and he's like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know? And like Dan Bongino has that look now. And like let me tell you, chat, I used to watch the show with video all the time on Dan Bongino. He does not look like that, like normally. Like, he looks dejected, heartbroken, and like weak. That's what he looks like right now. And he doesn't normally look like that.
Is the face of shame and guilt. He's resigned.
Like, I've watched hundreds of shows, right, of Dan Bongino, and he does not look like that normally.
I think he should.
So fast forward this story, right? He tells me that about a year and a half after that, I'm in a green room at Fox, and I'm not going to say who because they didn't give me permission to share it, but the short story, but not who they are. It says, you know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no.
What?
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that?
What?
Can they just stop fucking around with us? Like, can we just stop this? Like, can we... I'm so tired of the Middle East. Like, honestly, like, I'm sorry if you're from there. I'm sorry if, like, I'm just tired of the Middle East. Like, honestly, like, I care about America. I'm so tired of this.
The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset, meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody.
They're trying to bring about the prophecy with the battle for the red cows.
Of Epstein. That's a huge mistake.
Anybody that this is, if they were exclusively in one person's custody, the political party at the time of recovery.
So, like, imagine if that's like actually the truth. That it's like, you guys ever play the MMO Secret World? Just imagine there's like some big fucking like battle going on underground in like the Middle East over like some kind of like ritual to like end the world, and like everyone's fighting over it. like some kind of like fucking fate shit. It's like, and meanwhile in America, I'm just like, oh man, I'm just so tired. I just don't care anymore.
them would have used them and weaponized them. This is obviously not true.
Like goddamn Nazi-verse plot going on over there.
Mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. Which Middle Eastern countries they are, I don't know. But this person who is a very, very good reporter. I mean,
does the source just trust me? I mean, I understand that you might not want to believe this guy 100%. But isn't it crazy how so many of these stories come together that kind of paint the same picture? It's like if you were making a jigsaw puzzle, like let's say you have a 300-piece jigsaw puzzle. You have 285 pieces. And it's very clearly like, I don't know, it's like a bird on a tree. And somebody keeps trying to say, no, it's a motorcycle.
At first, I was kind of like, where is Asmon going with this? And then... this is why I love watching Asmon.
And you say, no, it's a bird on a tree. Look, it's obviously, they say, well, how do you know that? You only have 283 out of the 300 pieces. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit. Something is wrong. You're wrong about this matter, very wrong. You have to understand there's a limit to what people can do. Trump saved us from fucking people who hate America, and we're running America. Wake up, stop staying at home. Trump should do this. If you
I've been noticing a lot lately. A lot of things. Please don't kill me.
don't know everything, nerd.
I am not suicidal right now. I'm not.
There are things Trump can't do. Let me ask you this. Why can't Trump do this? Why not? Didn't Trump just threaten to bomb Moscow to Putin? Wasn't it just exposed that Trump just said, yeah, if you piss me off about this, I'm just going to nuke Moscow? Honestly, I don't know. I don't. But he clearly didn't change his mind in one day. Well, you're saying that Trump can't come out with these files. I'm asking you, why can't he come out with the files? By the way, if English isn't your first language, there's a high probability that you aren't an American. I don't know. Maybe you are an American. Okay, this guy seems to be pretty positive. I guess I'm originally from Iraq. Okay, now you're an American? Good, welcome. All right, never mind. That's good. Yes, I am an American? All right, great. He's not in it. How can he be in it? There's a lot of ways he could.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that he can be in it, even if he's not guilty. Yeah, let's just say like Trump was coming after me. Say I'm the bad guy, right? I'm playing the role. I'm role playing as the bad guy. Okay, and like I don't want people to bust me for, you know, being in charge of like, you know, this kind of evil ring thing, right? And Trump was coming after me, and Trump was like, I'm gonna find out, like I'm gonna release all the information, I'm gonna find you. And then like he comes up to me and he goes, I found it out, Leaflit. It was you. You were the one who did it. And I said, yeah, but didn't you do it too? And then I would put him inside of the information too. So I'd be like, yeah, you know, it kind of looks like you did it as well. So you want to have the showdown or what? Right? Like that's like a thing that you could do, is you could tie your fate to like the person who's going after you. That's like just one way. That's like one way like it could go down. Again, I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying that there are many possible ways for Trump to be in there, even if he's innocent.
Could be in it, man. Come on.
Yep, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's also possible that like he did do it. He is a part of it too. That's also a possibility, right? But what I'm saying is that him being in the files doesn't necessarily mean he did anything wrong, especially when you're dealing with like nefarious people. All of my more liberal homies, let me put it this way. Do you think that sometimes a bad cop would plant marijuana on a person to bust them? Or is that impossible? Because if you think that that's impossible, then maybe okay, fair enough, right? But if you think that that is a distinct possibility and that an evil person would do that, that's what I'm saying. That's the angle I'm coming from.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways. Because maybe he got threatened, then why doesn't he just kill the people that threatened him? He bombed Iran overnight with...
Because it's possible that the people that threaten him are like in the government right now. They're like actually Americans, right? Then it becomes harder to like, I'm just gonna bomb them.
B-2 bombers, he destroyed their entire nuclear facilities, and you're telling me that he can't kill the people that are threatening him?
Yeah, if they're his allies, Asmon, it makes it like harder, right?
It's bullshit.
Like for instance, like say the enemy was like the UK. You can't just like fucking orbital strike someone in the UK, right? Like
it's why Democrat didn't release it if he's in it, seriously, because they're in it too, and there's a third party that has access to it. What if it's a foreign government like Israel? I think that if Israel said that they were blackmailing Trump by like I will just if
sorry, physically you can do it if that's what you mean. Physically you can do it, but there would be a lot of backlash. It would cause a lot of problems.
Any country
Even then, striking an ally is still kind of rough.
said
even
that they
if,
were blackmailing Trump
even if they did something to you.
and that they would threaten to kill Trump if you release the Epstein files, I think that the American people would overwhelmingly support obliterating that country. Straight up. I'll say it. I know I would.
In aces, right?
I think that the American people to kill Trump.
The thing is, the threat doesn't have to be Trump's life as well. That's like another thing that like this argument is saying, that it's like a physical threat. It could be a threat of legacy, which I think Trump cares more about that. I think it's obvious, actually. I think it's obvious. The fact that like he still ran for president and he still wanted to be president despite being shot, I think is proof that he cares more about legacy, and he cares much more about legacy than he does care about his own life.
I think that the American people would overwhelmingly support obliterating that country. Straight up. I'll say it. I know I would.
In aces.
But yeah, if that's true, if another country did threaten like Trump's life, I would be in favor of that too. Fuck them.
Right? Swore Epstein was either a witting or unwitting intelligence asset, and they may have had his plane wired up, and they're the ones
Gently, of course. Gently.
who have all this stuff. So the point is, to sum it up, how do you know some of these countries aren't going to some of these power players who aren't making decisions because, hey, you wouldn't want this video out there, right?
Somebody says I'm crazy. I'm crazy. No, I'm not. I'm the only person who's not. I think that there's a lot of people. This is a big
Dude, I feel that way too.
issue that a lot of people have, is that they're so afraid of the direct and immediate effects of a confrontation that they let it get worse over time. And because of that, because they let it get worse over time, it makes the problem at a certain point unapproachable. And I think that really it's important to effectively, like, it's important to kill problems as soon as they start to exist, rather than letting them fester and grow and get worse over
This is very true. Take this advice to heart, chat.
time.
That was a really good video.
Dan Boingo will not.
That was really Dan Bongino. That was a really good video. Just like in general, like all of the content, including like Asmon's like commentary on it. I think it was really fun to like kind of back and forth on. I really like that video. I'll link it to you guys, all right?